Hello everybody, how you doing? Hope you're good. How is family? How is work? My name is George Olufemi Sunday, and in my upload for today, I'll be taking us to the Blue Line Phase 2 project. It stretches from my 2 to Okoko stations. We have about 5 to 6 stations. This is the trade fair station. But what is unique about this week's upload is that I'll be taking us to the lab. I want us to check for, for how this because there are some tests that need to be carried out to make these buildings stand tall as they are like this. So as we are going for the inspection, we'll also be checking for some tests that needs to be carried out in the lab and on site to make sure that these buildings stand tall like this. So as we are doing our inspection, we'll also be talking about all these tests that help us to know the structural integrity of this structure. So stay with me, it's going to be a long ride. We'll be using this particular station at Trade Fair as a yardstick because I think most of the stations that are in this particular project, the Blue Line Phase 2 project, I think this is the structure. This is that structure that all of them have. This is how their carcass looks like. So we'll be using this one as a yardstick to check what is most likely to have happened in the other stations. There can be a lot of drone videos, drone shots, but this is actually what is inside. You can see the building from outside, but this is how it is inside, unfiltered. So as you take your time to inspect, these are just the stations. There will be some beams that will carry the train from one station to another. So I would like to show us, how the concrete of these beams are prepared, because there's a special way that the sharp sand of this beam needs to be prepared. You can't use the same sharp sand that you use for normal construction to construct the beam that will carry a train. The load is different, the quality that is expected is different. So I'll be showing us how these sharp sands are treated, how the concrete is being mixed. I'll be showing you all of that in the lab. So as you're inspecting the station, just get prepared I'll be showing you the beam in the next slide. The beam is so big. This is the beam. It is so massive. Like, this is actually taller than me. I'm not short now. I'm short, but this beam is actually taller than me. So these are the beams that will be carrying the train, and I'll also be showing us, just like I'm doing now, how this the concrete of those beams are being prepared. A lot of things come together to ensure structural integrity, from the rebar to even the water. There has to be a water test because there has to be a water for construction test, to the chemical used, to the mix of the concrete, to the concrete grade, to the entire structure, and to the chemical used. This is a chemical that is used to make the concrete mix workable. So this process here is called sieve analysis. So sieve analysis is a standard laboratory or industrial test that is used to measure the particle size distribution of granular materials. This process involves shaking a weighed sample of gravel or whatever material it is. You understand? They use it for quality control on aggregates, on sand, on gravel, just to evaluate the how suitable it is for concrete, asphalt, and road bases. So it is this particular test is very, very important. Sieve analysis, very, very important, because it's not just about the beauty and the aesthetics of this structure. It's about how we're making sure that these structures last long and are durable. Not like after a few years of construction, even with maintenance, then they start degrading because there was no nobody actually asks questions on how they were made. So here, in this series, apart from the rehabilitation and expansion project, that I'll be bringing the updates soon. In this series, I'll also be showing us how these builders are making sure that these structures are built correctly. Structural integrity is the ability for a building or a machine or material to hold itself, to carry its own weight without external load, without breaking, without cracking, without collapsing. And with the instances and the examples that we have out there of building collapse and all of that, so it is not just about constructing a building or constructing a new structure, but how what are we doing? How you get my point? How are we making sure that these structures are actually fit and would stand the test of time? So that's why I'm also looking into not only this massive construction and all of that, but also checking what are the things that are done to ensure structural integrity. This right here are some of the samples taken from the concrete mix of that beam that I showed us earlier. This will be put in water for 28 days. So I would try my best to come back here to check the strength, the compression result of that particular cube that we just saw. I'll be showing us the results so we see the strength. So taking us further into the construction tour of the Blue Line Phase 2, we can see that a lot has been done. This is like a complete 1 minute or 20 seconds or thereabout of the entire place, but it is important that we keep these on record. That is why I'm taking my time to show you everything, the offices, the toilets, the structure of the whole thing, so we can just see for ourselves, inspect and see how things, we are the ones that are saying we are demanding credibility from our leaders and these construction companies. So if we can show you this, then why can't we just inspect all these things ourselves and have a record of how it was before they start bringing in the glass, the frames, the things that will beautify and cover everything up, because this is actually the most important thing. This carcass is actually the most important thing. Don't forget I told you that we'll also be going to some other sites in some other construction areas to check how they test for their pile, how they test for, because there are different types of tests that needs to be carried out for a building. So I was lucky to witness another one, that has to do with the pile integrity test. So whatever you notice here, let's just put it in the comment sections. For me, I can see that the train stations are actually very, very spacious, and yeah, that's what I see. Very spacious. They have the toilets, the offices. There's a staircase. I'm sure there's going to be an escalator too. By the time it is completed, I'll be coming here to show us that the wiring is, the pipes of the wiring has been fixed. Although I don't think they have been installed, but they've been fixed, getting ready for installation. And, pretty, the carcass is pretty, done. And then down here, they are trying to, do some egg work so that they can start, doing the fixing the retaining wall. As I said earlier, my name is George Oluwafemi Sunday, and I would like you to actually subscribe to my YouTube channel, because it's not gonna just be like the regular inspection and just checking projects and stuff. We are actually demanding credibility on this page, so we are demanding together. So this is like a community, that's going to demand credibility. It's going to show if these buildings are actually, you what the amounts that are actually used to build them. So this is just like demanding accountability, seeing how things are done, not just the finished product. You know, it makes us appreciate these things more. It makes us use them better. So this right here is called sand washing. It is an industrial process that uses water and mechanical action to clean dirt, clay, silt, and fine dust, from raw sand. So once the sand is prepared, then it is taken to the batching plant. It is not mixed with the other sharp sand that has been supplied from wherever they bring it from. Although that other one too, they do test it. There's a particular level of clay, silt, and dust content that one can have, that's allowed to have. But for this one, it has to be washed. That's for the sharp sand that they will use for all those beam construction. They have to go through this process. For the other ones, for the other elements, there's a particular level of clay, silt, and dust content that can be in that one. So this one is fine, and this process is just to improve the quality of the sand. The correct mix ratio, the correct cement grade, the correct rebar, all those things. They are things that we need to check, to ensure that these buildings actually last as long as they're supposed to. So still in the mood of checking for quality, checking for structural integrity, I'm taking us to an on-site activity that will be showing us some types of structural integrity and quality tests that's usually done on pile foundations. There's always a load bearing capacity, either SLT or DLT. I've witnessed that, but I didn't record that. But I'll be showing you the pile integrity test. That's the low strain test, and then the sonic logging test. That's the cross hole sonic logging. So I'll be trying to explain in my own kind of layman language how these things are done, and how it works. So now I want you to look closely and observe that the top of this pile has been filed. It has been filed so it can be smooth. So they want to perform a low strain pile integrity test on this one. So you can see that armor there, that small handheld armor would be used to tap the pile top, and then reflection sensors will be sent to this machine here, just to check for internal cracks, voids, or necking. So there's this particular graph that will be displayed once this hammer hits the head of that pile. So, and there's a way to interpret that graph to know if the pile is actually okay or not. You would notice the difference between the previous pile and this one. This one has pipes. These pipes have been filled with water. So they use parallel tubes. They pass in parallel tubes into this, and through the sound waves, they are able to get a graph. That graph now, helps interpret whatever these tubes find in the pile. So they put these tubes inside a pile, and then it is interpreted into a graph. that is actually read to know, okay, if the pile is okay or not. It's a bit complex, but that's how best I can explain it. So guys, as I continue my tour in whatever project I cover, that I'm opportune to cover, I'd always check for the structural integrity so we can know, what we are building. We can understand the complexities of these things, and we can all the parastatals that are responsible for making sure that our buildings are actually built well can all know what is actually happening, know what is going on, and then everything will just actually demanding for accountability and all of that. So yeah, coming to this site for this tour was really very educative for me, because I had to do a lot of research to check what was going on and how things were happening. So I hope you enjoyed this particular episode. Thank you so much for sticking thus far. Watch out for my next update. You don't know where next I'm going, so just turn on the post notification bell and let's go. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. You have to subscribe so you can always see my posts. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for your support. I'm signing out. Thank you.